Finally, I got Conrad Camber. I've been looking for this guy for ages. Could not find him in a store, and the eBay prices were a little high for me. So fortunately, last week, a friend of mine found one at a store and sold it to me for a great price. So thank you. You know who you are. So let's waste no time. This is definitely one of my new favorite next-gen Piston Cup racers. I just love that gold star on him. And of course, we'll get into the details a little bit later. But he is the Shiny Wax number 82 next generation racer. And there's a nice little picture of him looking very happy with the desert highway in the background. Of course, like I already pointed out, the next-gen Piston Cup Racer series with the cool yellow goldish stripe, and there's a picture of a conceptual next-gen. On the back, we only have a look at Conrad himself. They usually put pictures of other cars in the series, but maybe it's because they didn't know what else they'd be releasing, or they just didn't have them ready yet. I don't know exactly why, but we only have a look at Conrad. The description reads, will the impressive next-gen racers break Lightning McQueen's winning streak? Yes, they definitely did. Pretty much ended it forever, sorry to say. And then we have a picture of McQueen looking at one of the main next-gens, Danny Swervez. And then we have on the right the next-gen combustor, and on the left the next-gen triple dent named Cam Spinner. So that is all for the package. This is a perfect card, and I do buy usually one to open, one to keep in the package. So it is a little foolish of me to open such a perfect packaged card, but you know what? I just can't wait. I have no idea when I'll get a second one of these. I may never, so let's just open it up. So here we have Conrad out of the package, looking stunning, even better than he did in the package. But man, that tape on the card there around the blister really eats up the nice card art there. I mean, look at that. This is all I was able to salvage because the tape's on there so strong that when you pull the blister off, it takes most of the card with it. So that's a little disappointing. Hopefully they can improve the glue system with the blister so they don't need the tape. I mean, they should really never need that tape. But anyway, let's get on with the review here of our buddy Conrad. So I'll put some pictures on the screen of where he appeared in the movie. He didn't talk, as for most of the Piston Cup racers, but he was seen in the background a couple times, and he does look very movie accurate, so that's always a plus, because sometimes, you know, Mattel decides to change something arbitrarily, like with Sheldon Shifter. His diecast actually has a different spoiler than in the movie. But anyway, getting back on track here, Conrad did replace Darren Leadfoot, who was the Shiny Wax racer in Cars 1 and at the beginning of Cars 3. So that's right, he is one of the few stock cars that made the jump from Cars 1 to Cars 3, along with like Todd Marcus. You have Ernie Gearson, some others in there as well. So we'll do a comparison of these three in a little bit. But I do have to say that Shiny Wax as a brand has evolved probably one of the most out of all of the companies, or sponsors I should say, in Cars 3. I mean, just look at how different the next gen is from the two previous iterations. Now, getting to the potential re-release of Conrad, he is in a couple cases right now, and I really shouldn't say like a couple. He's basically in one, but like one has like slightly different contents than the other, so it's exclusive to one store. A lot of confusing stuff. I'll put the main content list in the description below to check that out. I hope he gets re-released or at least included in another case in 2018, so the people like me who can never find anything in a store have a second chance, even though what does that even guarantee anymore? Who knows? They probably won't even find it then. Or maybe, you know, he'll be released in 2019, 2020, something along those lines. But anyway, now let's get on to the review of him. So he is the same model as quite a few other next gens. I selected 5 to bring out for comparison. And now most of these do have different expressions, which is definitely a good thing, along with different spoilers. So that's H.J. Hollis. We have Ed Trunken here, who has his eyes looking rather similar to Conrad, but it's a little bit lower on Conrad there. We have Flip Dover. Actually, let's back these guys up a little bit so we can get more in the shot. One of my personal favorites here, Paul Conrad, racing for Bumper Save. And lastly, out of the ones that I chose, is Danny Swervez, who is the main model out of all these because he was the first and he did speak in the movie. So which one out of these is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. Wow, that doesn't roll too well. But anyway, I have to say I do like right now Conrad the most. And then Flipped Over second. Maybe it's because he's just been so elusive to me that now that I finally have him, he's like the best thing in the world. But I really do like it, and I like that he has a different eye expression, at least, from the rest of them. And Moth as well. You can see that Flip and Danny have their mouths open, whereas these three have closed mouths. So, you know, definitely some more effort being put in to differentiate the models than with Cars 1, whereas they just had 3, changed the paint jobs, and that was it. Expressions were all the same, so definitely an improvement. Now looking at the decals on Conrad here, I just love this metallic green paint. It starts really kind of bright, like an emerald green toward the front here, you can see with the vents there, but then as it goes to the back, it gets darker and darker and fades into the gray, which I love that design. It definitely emphasizes the next-gen motif, the modernness of it. He has that grille there, very slim, that connects the headlights. He's got that frown on, of course, because that's what they do to all the next gens, no matter what the card art says. Even if he's smiling on here, he's probably not smiling on the actual diecast. But that's all for like a marketing thing. Kids want to buy stuff that looks happy, not stuff that looks like that. Because the first thing they see is the picture on the card art there. It's just kind of how it is. But anyway, I love like the rings in the background. It's a nice kind of like flowery pattern that, I don't know, it contradicts Shiny Wax in my opinion a little bit, but it still looks really nice and contemporary. I love it. And then my favorite thing is this gold foil, and it surrounds the very small Shiny Wax logo here. It's just in white text there with a green rim, gold around it, and then you have the two like sparks or shines where the gold stripes actually meet from the sides here. And this is kind of like a sun here. It's this amazing paint or like gold foil, whatever they use. It looks fantastic. They have used it on some other next-gen racers. My example for today is Danny Swervez because he also has gold foil. Some of the other ones have like green or like gray with Aaron Clocker, but Danny and Conrad both have gold schemes there. Of course, he is still number 82, and that is that metallic paint there again, which looks fantastic. There are his exhaust pipes. That arrow indicates the picker where to lift them up at to exchange the tires, which are Lightyear, the modern version. That has the text rim very, very thin along the outer edge with some silver rims in there, or trim, and just black wheels. Nice and simple. His contingency sponsors are the Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy. Those three are all new sponsors, ironically, new companies for Cars 3. Let's just take a moment to really appreciate this gold star. I really love it. It's the thing that makes him unique. It makes him stand out. You know, if you look at like H.J. Hollis and Ed Trunken, they look awesome, but what's the thing that really stands out about them? Like, I can't pick one thing that stands out about these guys in their design. But if I look at Conrad, I mean, like, yeah, he's the guy with the gold star that looks just stunning to me. So, yeah, that's why I pick him over some of the others. I also like how you can see, like, the sparkle in the paint as well. On the roof here, number 82 with the roof flaps. Nice and simple, just green with some yellow backing there. His spoiler is also really nice. It has that sparkle on the end, like he did on the hood there. Shiny wax in the center, and then yellow flares on the outside. Very, very small Shiny Wax logo right there. And his gas cap is right there. He has the bars on the back window, which a lot of the next gens don't have. They just didn't do it last year. I feel like most of the next gens that are newly released here on out will have those window bars. Like, for example, Conrad, or Paul, my bad, was released this year, and he has the window bars. And on the back here, whoa, let's darken up a little bit. That gets so bright. We have that shiny wax logo there again, the nice yellow rookie stripes, and some cool taillights. I love it, just love it. And here is the base if you're interested in looking at the codes and whatnot. Awesome. A lot of people have been complaining about this gold foil or the foil in general, that like material use on these racers, because you know, at first it just doesn't come out perfectly, like on Chase Racelet or Danny Swerves. Like a lot of it was like flaking off, it just didn't look too good. But I feel like they finally got it down and they have it nailed. So on Conrad here, at least, I haven't really heard many people complain about Conrad in specific. It was more so like the early ones last year, like Danny Swerves, Chase Racelet, and even a little bit, I think, on Steve Slick LePage, who was the Trunk Fresh Next Gen in that Next Gen Racers 4-pack. I'll put a link to him in the description if you want to check that out. But now let's compare the lineage of the shiny wax racers here. Let me know after I show them all which one is your favorite. Mine, you guys guessed it, definitely Conrad, and then followed up by Cars 3 Darren and Cars 1 Darren. Definitely seems that every time he's gotten a little bit bigger, but that is just coincidental. I still don't fully understand how this is the same character as this. It's been like 11 years of them racing, and he was even a rookie in Cars 1, and he's a completely new model. It doesn't make sense to me, but anyway, you can hear more about that in my review of Darren, and I'll put that link in the description as well, along with the card suggestion in the top right-hand corner. So the main theme that has sticked is the circular shiny wax logo, the essence of that. Like here you got the rings, and the rings have now transformed more into the star, but you still do have that circle. Although they did kind of take a break from the circle for the Cars 3 stock car, so it's kind of nice to see them come full circle around back to the circle. No pun intended there. He's always had black wheels, which is kind of a nice consistency there. Definitely went from a brighter green to a much more solemn, darker green, which I think is, you know, necessary, makes sense for the next gens. A lot of them are darker than their counterparts that came before them. I do have to say, I love Cars 3 Darren. I love his design and everything. He's actually one of my favorite piston car racers from Cars 3 that is a stock car, but he just doesn't match up to Conrad at all for me personally. But you guys may have a different opinion. That's perfectly cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can't really compare too many other aspects just because, I mean, so insanely different. And that really is the case with a lot of these sponsors. I feel like the one that changed the least is like Mood Springs here, or like N20 Cola. N20 Cola, yeah. N20 is probably right, not N20 because it's nitrogen 2, oxygen 1. But anyway, that is completely random. Now let's bring in the team of Shiny Wax here. We have Senior Trax, who is the crew chief. At least he was for Darren in Cars 1. And Nebuchadnezzar Schmidt is the pity. Quite a name there. Don't know why they chose that. Don't know how it really relates to cars. But still nonetheless a cool pity. I have a custom toolbox because the pity and crew chief were released together in 3-packs, which means that they never included a tool cart. Same thing went for Spearmint, Pity, and No Stalls. So make some customs or buy some from somebody else. And here we have the Pitstop Barrier, which was released like almost 2 years ago now. I love that. Goes along with Darren. This is all Darren stuff. Darren even has a pretty sweet launcher here that was released almost 10 years ago. I think we're coming up on it here. It's like 9, so oh, I'm getting old. This is ridiculous. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about Conrad and how he shapes up to the other 2 Shiny Wax racers. I will see you guys all next time for another video. And it'll probably be like Metallic Bobby Swift or Sergeant High Gear back there. I did finally get some of these new cars that I've just been drooling over watching other people get them. I just decided, you know what, I'm never going to find these, so let's just buy them on eBay. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. And I'll see you guys then. Bye now.